there was a young boy whose job was to watch over the village sheep. One day, he was bored and wanted some fun, so he shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" The villagers came running to help, only to find the boy laughing at them because there was no wolf. The next day, he did it again, and the villagers were angry. Later, a real wolf came and started attacking the sheep. The boy cried, "Wolf! Wolf!" But this time, no one believed him, and the wolf ran off with some sheep. Moral of the story: if you keep lying, no one will trust you, even when you're telling the truth. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories. One day, a dog found a big, tasty bone. He was so excited that he grabbed it and ran to find a quiet spot to chew it in peace. While crossing a river, he looked down and saw his reflection in the water. But the silly dog thought it was another dog with another bone. Greedy for more, the dog barked to snatch that other bone. But as soon as he opened his mouth, his own bone dropped into the water and sank. The poor dog lost it all and had to go home with nothing. Moral of the story: if you're too greedy and always want more, you might lose what you already have. One summer, an ant worked hard every day to gather food and store it safely for the winter. His friend, the grasshopper, however, laughed and said, "You work too hard. Relax." The grasshopper spent all summer playing and singing instead of preparing. But when winter came, the grasshopper was cold and hungry, while the ant stayed cozy in his home with more than enough food. Moral of the story: always plan ahead and be prepared. Life won't always be easy, so take care of your needs while you can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories. And made fun of him. Feeling like he didn't belong, the little duckling ran away and searched for a place where he could be accepted. Seasons passed, and one day, he saw his reflection in a lake. To his surprise, he had grown into a beautiful swan. He wasn't an ugly duckling at all. He had just been different all along. Moral of the story: don't judge someone by how they look. Everyone is special in their own way, and real beauty is about being yourself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories. A thirsty crow was flying through a forest, looking everywhere for water. Finally, he saw a pot with some water at the bottom, but his beak couldn't reach it. The crow didn't give up. He looked around and noticed some pebbles on the ground. The clever crow started dropping the pebbles into the pot one by one. Slowly, the water rose higher and higher until it was close enough for him to drink. The crow finally quenched his thirst and flew away happily. Moral of the story: you can solve any problem if you think smart and don't give up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories.
The Owl and the Eagle's Daughter. Once, a young owl was enjoying the cool moonlight. While flying over a pond, he saw his reflection and thought he looked princely enough to marry a princess. he decided to ask for the hand of King Eagle's daughter. However, owls are nocturnal, while eagles are active during the day. At daybreak, the owl requested his friend, the crow, "Please convey my proposal to King Eagle." The crow agreed and passed on the message. Though displeased, King Eagle responded, "Tell the owl to meet me high in the sky at noon." The next day, when the owl peeped out at noon, the bright sunlight hurt his eyes. Still, he tried to fly higher and higher. Soon, he grew tired and stopped to rest at a nearby farm. Reality struck him. He was not meant to fly at such heights or in such light. He returned home and gave up the idea of marrying a princess. Moral: before chasing big dreams, it's important to understand your own strengths and limitations. Making decisions without knowing your reality can lead to disappointment. Aim high, but also stay grounded. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.
A big, proud elephant loved bullying smaller animals. Every day, he sprayed water at the anthill, making life difficult for the tiny ants. One day, the ants decided to teach him a lesson. They crawled into his trunk and started biting him from the inside. The elephant danced and howled in pain until he begged for forgiveness. He promised to never hurt the ants or anyone else again. Moral of the story: no one is too small to make a difference. Be kind to everyone, no matter how big or small they are. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories. A hungry fox was walking past a vineyard when he saw some ripe, juicy grapes hanging from a vine. They looked so delicious. The fox jumped high to grab them, but couldn't reach them, no matter how hard he tried. Tired and frustrated, the fox walked away, grumbling, "Those grapes are probably sour anyway." But deep down, he knew he had just given up too quickly. Moral of the story: don't make excuses when something is hard. Keep trying. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories.
Today I'm going to tell you an amazing story, a story about courage, faith, and a young boy named David who faced a giant and didn't run away. So sit back, listen closely, and let's travel back to the time of kings and battles. It's time for the story of David and Goliath. David and Goliath. Goliath was so big and tall, his enemies shook with fear. "I dare you, men of Saul," he shouted loud and clear. "Pick a man to fight with me, then we'll see who's strong." The Israelites began to flee. They didn't stay for long, but David said, "Don't fear. We belong to God. My sling can beat Goliath's spear, even if it sounds odd. God has rescued me from bears. He saved me from a lion. I'll give to him all my cares. He'll save me from this giant." Saul looked a little worried and gave his big sword, but David shook his head and hurried, trusting in the Lord. Wearing 10 gazillion things, Goliath crossed the field. He weighed as much as 20 kings, with javelin, sword, and shield. David ran with staff in hand, 5 pebbles and a sling. With God, he knew he'd stand, and planned which stone to fling. Goliath laughed and mocked his staff. "A stick for playing fetch?" But David stood firm in his path with no fear to stretch. Trusting in God's providence, despite the giant's grin, David spoke with confidence, knowing he could win. "I'm not afraid of you. God is on my side. There's nothing you can say or do to make me run and hide." He raised his slingshot in the air. The giant watched it swing. The stone flew fast and struck him fair. It hit him with a ping. He staggered back and stopped his grinning. Then with a crack, he went down spinning. The Israelites all cheered, the Philistines all fled. Not one of them sneered, they trembled in dread. God had won the day, and David was his man. We can be as brave today when we trust in God's plan. And that's the incredible story of David and Goliath, a reminder that even when we feel small, with faith, courage, and trust in God, we can stand tall and face any giant in our lives. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more inspiring stories just like this. See you in the next one.
Stories have a magical way of teaching life lessons that stay with us forever. Short moral stories are entertaining and inspiring for kids, helping them grasp important values in fun and memorable ways. Instead of simply telling children what is right or wrong, these tales weave lessons into adventures, making them easy to understand and connect with. These 10 carefully selected stories are perfect for sparking both imagination and wisdom. Each one offers a meaningful takeaway, whether about kindness, hard work, humility, or perseverance. Parents and teachers can use these short stories to guide children toward becoming kind-hearted and thoughtful individuals. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring stories.